There are moments in your life when you pray for increase, when you cry out for abundance, when you lift your hands and ask God to open the windows of heaven over you. Yet, instead of wealth arriving, instead of breakthrough appearing, it seems as if God places you in a season that feels like stretching, waiting, pruning, or even contradiction. It is in these moments that many wonder, has God forgotten me? Has he delayed my blessing? Has he turned his face away from my request? But what you must understand is this profound truth. God never withholds to punish you. He withholds to prepare you. Before God places wealth into your hands, he examines the condition of your heart. Before he increases what is around you, he strengthens what is within you. And before he promotes you into abundance, he takes you through divine tests meant not to break you, but to build you. You see, God is a father, and no loving father releases something heavy into the hands of a child who has not yet learned how to carry it. Wealth is a blessing, but without spiritual maturity it becomes a burden. Increase is a reward, but without faithfulness it becomes a trap. Success is an open door, but without humility it becomes a prison. So God watches you, not with judgment, but with love. He examines your character to see whether what he places in your hands will serve his purpose or destroy your destiny. Every test God sends is intentional. Every test is a doorway disguised as a challenge. You may see delay, but God sees development. You may see obstacles, but God sees opportunities to grow your faith. You may see that others have moved ahead of you, but God sees that your foundation must be stronger for where he is taking you. And when you understand this, you stop fighting your season and start learning from it. One of the first ways God tests you before sending wealth is through the test of faithfulness in small things. Do not despise the small responsibilities God has placed before you. They may look insignificant, but heaven is watching how you manage them. If you cannot be faithful with little, how can you be trusted with much? Some people want to manage millions, but they mishandle the few hundreds they have today. Some want to run companies, yet they are careless in their current assignments. Some want to lead others, but they neglect to lead themselves. God watches the unseen moments of your life, how you steward your time, your resources, your discipline, your relationships. These are the seeds of tomorrow's harvest. Before God multiplies your blessings, he evaluates your stewardship. Faithfulness creates capacity. Capacity attracts increase. Another test God allows is the test of delayed answers. Delay is painful because it confronts your patience and challenges your trust. Delay exposes whether your faith is attached to God or to the blessing you are waiting for. Many love God until they are asked to wait. But waiting purifies your motives. Waiting reveals whether you seek God for who he is or for what he gives. Waiting proves whether you trust his timing or your own desires. And let me tell you this truth. God's delay is not denial. When God delays, he is aligning. He is aligning people, aligning opportunities, aligning your heart, aligning your character. He is positioning you for a blessing that will not drown you, but elevate you. When the blessing comes too early, it becomes a curse. But when it comes at the appointed time, it becomes a testimony. There is also the test of generosity. Before God sends wealth, he examines how you handle the needs of others. A selfish heart cannot carry divine abundance. A closed hand cannot receive from heaven. God watches how you give, not just out of your surplus, but out of your sacrifice. Your giving reveals your trust. Your giving reveals your priorities. Your giving reveals whether money controls you or you control money. God does not test your generosity because he needs what you have. He owns everything. He tests your generosity because he wants you to look like him. Wealth in the hands of someone who reflects God's heart becomes a tool that transforms lives. So he asks you to give in seasons where you feel like holding back, not to take from you, but to enlarge you. Then there is the test of humility. Some people ask God for success, but the success they seek would separate them from God. Pride is a silent killer. It closes heaven's doors. God will never elevate a person who is not anchored in humility. So sometimes he keeps you in a place where you must depend on him, a place where your strength is not enough, where your wisdom is not enough, where your strategies are not enough, a place where the only option is surrender. This place is not a punishment, it is a foundation. For when God lifts you, he wants you to carry success without losing your soul. He wants you to rise without forgetting who raised you. He wants you to prosper without pride poisoning your purpose. Humility is the key that unlocks divine promotion. There is also the test of obedience. Obedience is not tested when God asks you to do what is easy. It is tested when he asks you to do what costs you something. God may ask you to leave a habit, let go of a relationship, pursue a dream that intimidates you, forgive someone who hurt you, or trust him in unfamiliar territory. These are not random instructions. They are divine training. Obedience sharpens your spiritual hearing. It aligns you with divine direction. It positions you in the pathway of blessing. Wealth without obedience leads to wandering, but wealth with obedience leads to purpose. God is looking for people who will obey him even when the instruction seems unreasonable, because on the other side of obedience is always abundance. Another test God uses is the test of integrity. Wealth amplifies who you already are. If you are faithful, wealth amplifies your faithfulness. If you are generous, wealth amplifies your generosity. But if you are dishonest, wealth amplifies your dishonesty. If you are corrupt, wealth worsens your corruption. So God watches your choices in private moments, moments where nobody sees, moments where shortcuts seem appealing, moments where compromise feels convenient. Heaven observes what you do when the reward for righteousness is not immediate and the cost of integrity is high. Because wealth must rest in the hands of someone whose character is stronger than their bank account, someone who places principle above profit, someone who values righteousness above recognition. This test may feel uncomfortable, but it refines you into a vessel God can trust. There is also the test of gratitude. God observes how you handle blessings in their early form. If you complain about what you have now, you will complain when you have more. If you cannot thank him for today's portion, you will not honor him with tomorrow's increase. Gratitude prepares your spirit for overflow. Gratitude multiplies what you have. Gratitude shifts your perspective from lack to abundance. And gratitude attracts the favor of God. When your heart is thankful, heaven is drawn to you. Before God expands your territory, he tests your gratitude. He wants to see whether you celebrate progress, even when it is small, even when it is slow, even when it is incomplete. A grateful heart carries a magnetic field that pulls blessings toward it. Finally, there is the test of perseverance. God wants to see whether you can endure the journey without losing faith. Can you remain faithful when the path is long? Can you continue to pray when the answer does not come quickly? Can you keep pushing when nothing is changing? Can you stay committed when circumstances disappoint you? Wealth requires endurance. Increase requires stability. Promotion requires resilience. If God blesses someone who cannot endure storms, the blessing becomes temporary. But when you pass the test of perseverance, you prove that you are prepared not just to receive a blessing, but to sustain it. God is not looking for people who shine for a moment. He is raising people who will shine for a lifetime. Every test you face is shaping you. Every test is preparing you. Every test is moving you closer to the abundance God has planned for you. Do not resent your testing season. Embrace it, for gold must be refined before it shines. Seeds must be buried before they grow. Oil must be pressed before it flows, and you must be tested before you are trusted with wealth. You may be in a season right now where you feel stretched, challenged, or misunderstood. But do not lose heart. God has not abandoned you. He is developing you. He is shaping you into a vessel capable of carrying the blessing He is preparing. He is strengthening your faith, enlarging your capacity, and purifying your motives. And when the testing is complete, you will step into a level of provision that will not only change your life, but the lives of those connected to you. Your season of testing is not the end. It is the beginning. It is the final step before the breakthrough, the final stretch before the promotion, the final refining before the release. Stand firm, stay faithful, keep praying, keep obeying, keep trusting. For the God who tests you is the same God who will bless you. The God who prunes you is the same God who will promote you. And the God who watches your faithfulness in the valley is the same God who will celebrate your victory on the mountain. This is how God tests you before sending wealth, not to disqualify you, but to prepare you, not to punish you, but to elevate you, not to hold you back, but to launch you into a future overflowing with abundance, purpose, and divine favor. And when that season arrives, you will look back and thank God, not just for the blessing, but for the tests that shaped you into someone powerful enough, mature enough, and faithful enough to carry it.